Welcome, brothers. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at some single women who feel lonely, still searching for that Prince Charming. The irony here is that they all wanted to be strong and independent women. So, what's going on, brothers? But before we continue, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your comments with your experiences. This helps the content reach more men who might need it. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up. Attempted going to a singles mixer in downtown Phoenix. The ratio of men to women was way off. We left after maybe 40 minutes, but hey, we tried.
Okay, I'm confused. What happened to strong, independent women don't need no man? What happened to women not wanting to date men anymore? What happened to lonely, single, and desperate men would do anything to get a woman? For some reason, the math is not mathing. Because from what I'm hearing about singles events, it's flooded with women. Women are looking for relationships. Women are looking for relationships despite whatever they're saying online, that they prefer to be alone without men. See, women are not being truthful. They come online and they say they don't need a man. They don't want to be in a relationship. They don't want to settle. But then when you see a singles event, it's primarily all women. Where are the men? Yeah, we know where the men are because they don't want to deal with it anymore. You see, there's a big difference. When women say they don't want something, they actually want it. When a man says he doesn't want something, he means it.
Sometimes, brothers, people have to see where they make their beds because sooner or later, they will have to sleep in them. These women began spreading a message that they don't need any man, started mocking men, many deceived them, others cruelly rejected them, some used them as ATM machines, and some even married them only to leave them stranded on the streets. Some poor men were left raising another man's child, and then they were told to be promiscuous since a man should love them as they are. Some women lived off one or two men, and so on, gradually minimizing the role of men. But as every action has a reaction, movements like the Red Pill emerged, figures like Andrew Tate began awakening more and more men, and movements like Passport Bro surfaced. The women who claimed to be strong and independent, the feminists, those who spread hatred, unintentionally gave more power to these male movements. This resulted in what we see today: many single, lonely, and depressed women. Because women allowed themselves to be deceived. It's not the same when a woman who is an 8 to 10 in beauty claims to be strong and independent, having many options for men, as opposed to a woman who is a 2 to 3 in beauty and is hardly desired by anyone. When these movements began to diminish the value of men, those who paid the price were women with fewer options, those who genuinely sought to be in a family, those who had feminine energy. And also the good men who wanted to form relationships but were humiliated to the point of leaving the country to find love because the women here could no longer stand them. As I said, they dug their own graves. Brothers ended up hitting the wall because the wall does not forgive.
I managed to have my hair appointment. I got a massage. I'm applying to jobs that I want to apply for. I'm looking into new apartments and new places to live because I can. Because I'm by myself. I am on my own. This is my life.
The reason that I love this TikTok is because it is truly so insightful, and it reveals how detrimental dating can be for women. Because the fact that whenever a woman is talking about the joys and the pros of being single, all you hear her say is that she has the opportunity to center herself in her life. This woman said in her video is that because I am single, I can consider certain job opportunities. I can consider moving wherever I want. I can consider leaving to a different city if I want. It's like you have the opportunity to simply live your life because you're single. And I think that that is very revealing of how whenever women are in relationships, there is this expectation and pressure to be self-sacrificial. Because when you think about it, if a woman is in a relationship and she has a job opportunity in another state, the questioning becomes, you got to pick one or the other. Are you going to take on that opportunity, or are you going to stay with your partner? If a man is in a relationship and is under the same circumstances, there is.
Brothers, when you see a woman like that, single, talking about her life, the only thing I notice is that she wants to sell you the idea that they are happy, but you don't see it in them. A single woman can go wherever she wants, work wherever she wants, and do whatever she wants. But what she can't have is someone who is happy to see her come home, someone to help when something goes wrong at home or on the streets, someone to take care of her when she's sick, someone who genuinely cares about her. She doesn't have someone to do things for her, sometimes as simple as buying food or cooking a meal. She lacks all of that. You see her painting it as something super good, but the statistics show that the rate of single women consuming antidepressants is higher than that of men. The number of women going to therapy to cry is greater than that of men. But why is that? Just look at how she says, "This is my life now." That sounds more like a word of resignation than of joy. It's like saying, "This is my reality, and I can't change it." This is sad.
There's no question about whether or not he's going to take the career opportunity. He is. The questioning then falls on the partner. Are you going to follow him? There is this expectation for women to sacrifice our own joys, our own lives, our own autonomy in order to accommodate our male partners, in order to make their lives easier. I'm just so astounded by how every single time that we have a conversation about the pros of being single, a single woman, we always end up saying things like, I get to watch whatever I want on TV. I get to do whatever I want in a Friday evening. I get to take on career opportunities. It's like, that shit is so sad that we do not have those things whenever we have a partner. I think that needs to stop going unquestioned, because it shouldn't be like that. It just should not be that whenever we're in a relationship, we are literally giving up the choice to live our lives. Okay, the last thing that I want to say is that this is why being a single woman is very different than being a single man. This is why women are choosing to be single. This is why the happiest people on earth are single, childless women. And I also find it very ironic how there is so much messaging telling women that being single is like the biggest misery you could have, when in reality, it seems to be the biggest joy.
Brothers, being single is great when you're in your 20s, but when you hit your 30s and beyond, it becomes painful. You realize that your friends are married with families. There are no more girls' nights out. You notice that whether you get out of bed or not, no one cares because even your mom isn't around to call you anymore. It's tough when you know that if you get sick today, no one will come to see you at the hospital. It's tough when you're 35, with no children or husband, navigating life alone. You can travel wherever you want, work in your dream job, have a big house, a TV, and every Friday night to go wherever you want alone. But you'll realize that the common denominator here is being alone. Whether you come home or not, no one cares. That's why we see the girl from the intro in a car alone and sad. I don't see her as the happiest person in the world, proving that women are happier alone. I only see a woman who is hurt, having to accept that this is her life now, sadly, and no one cares. This is why some people are found dead in their homes months after passing away because they have no one. Yet, they claim they are the happiest people in the world.
As a single 28-year-old woman, I cannot stress enough the importance of making sure that you have friends in your life who are in the same chapter as you. For years, I struggled being the only single friend that I knew of, meaning all of my friends were either in serious relationships or married. And constantly being around people who were in relationships really ate away at my self-esteem. Because weekends would come, I would want to hang out with my friends and they'd always be like, sorry, I can't, I'm with my boyfriend. Which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but after that happens so many times, you're like, okay, something needs to change. I also feel like the sense of relatability gets lost between you and your friends who are in relationships for a long time when you're single for a long time. It's like, I felt like they almost didn't understand what I was going through when I did have a new guy in my life or I was interested in someone, because they were so used to just having a committed partner there for so long. But let me tell you, when I actually started prioritizing looking for and making friends who were single, who were in the same stage of life as I was, everything changed for the better. Since having more single friends in my life, I have gone on so many more trips. I have gone out in general so much more. I'm having so many new experiences because I've got these single friends who don't have anyone else to worry about. So we're able to share new experiences together. Versus when I was just friends with people in relationships, like I didn't travel with them because they were always traveling with their partner. They were spending all their free time with their partner. And it's just such a different vibe when you are talking to someone who is single about relationships and guy problems versus someone who is married or in a relationship. I do value both people's opinions, FYI, but I'm just saying the energy is a lot different when you are single and you are also talking to a single friend who is going through the same exact thing. Also, I know someone's gonna ask, I found all of my single friends on Bumble BFF. Actually, 3 of my best friends right now I found through Bumble BFF, and through them I have met so many new people. So definitely recommend Bumble BFF, it actually works. But anyways, this is not to bash my friends who are in relationships or married. I am still very good friends with all of them. And as time goes on, I'm sure I will eventually get into a relationship, and so will my other friends. I think it really just comes down to being able to prioritize your relationships, your friendships, and your time alone. And if you can do that successfully, then you should be able to maintain all of the relationships in your life. But if you are someone who is single and has been single your entire life or for a very long time, I do think it is so important to have close people in your life who are single as well, because they know exactly what you're going through and you can navigate that together.
And they are the happiest in the world, brother. It's logical, brother. Think about it this way. This woman is a 7 or an 8 in beauty. Let's say her friends range from a 5 to 6 and up. Imagine this friend and her have been single for 5 years. The friend who is a 5 in beauty finds her man, only taking about 6 months. Now, the friend who is a solid 8 in beauty and still single comes to gatherings with her new boyfriend. Brothers, we all know what will happen at some point. She will see it as a threat to her own relationship because, here, we all know that a woman's worst enemy is another woman. So, the friend becomes somewhat defensive, talks less about her boyfriend, and tries to find flaws in this friend. If the boyfriend ever asks about her, she distances herself even faster. It's not that the other friend is at fault, but you are a threat to my relationship and to me getting this man's ring because he might be interested in you or you might show interest in him, which happens more than you think. That's why I say they end up alone. Solitude without friends or family is very, very tough. As they say, you can have the best car, but if you have nowhere to go, it's just a car. That's why she spreads this message of seeking friends, even through apps, because loneliness is a heavy burden to carry.
Why is it so easy for some people to date and find relationships?
You should go watch her whole video because everything she says is so true. You know, I never been in a relationship and I feel her 100%. Everybody in the comments was like, oh, well, people jump from relationship to relationship because they're settling or they don't want to be alone, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that might be true. But I think her whole point is that everybody has somebody and they're able to find them quickly. But people who have been single for so long do not have that. And it's just the truth. Everybody has somebody. Whether it's an ex, a little past situationship, a little person that they were talking to, but they're just not talking to right now. They always got somebody in the corner for convenience. It's always like, so when you know that, it does make dating a lot scarier because when you do find that connection, you're kind of like, dang, I'm the more vulnerable one in this connection. I feel like I have more to lose at stake because if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be heartbroken. But if it doesn't work out for you, you know where to go. And I don't.
There will always be people who are more flirtatious than others and attract more attention, but that doesn't mean everyone is like that. In today's context, you could say that women have more options, and the truth is they do. However, having too many options causes women to spread their attention too thin, not focusing on truly connecting with someone, but rather trying to find the best possible option. That's why many end up falling into the hands of the Chad, a man who brings nothing more to the table than his seed, as these men are more seductive, ending up just having fun with them. This ultimately leads many to close themselves off to love, become more masculine, or set high standards for all men. But, as I said at the beginning, this modern world works well for women with many options. Women with few or no options are finding things challenging, and that's why we see many women struggling to secure a relationship, only watching time pass. That's why we see desperate women going on dates that end up feeling like marriage interviews, or when they enter a relationship, they rush towards commitment because time is running out. They have either hit the wall or are racing against time, and the wall and time are a barrier that, no matter how hard you try to push it, won't budge because the wall does not forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think there are so many single women? What do you believe has been the main cause of this epidemic of single women? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.